another day, another chat to get the tea about what's the latest scope in United Movement. And welcome to Sinking for Success, Building Institutional Resilience for Youth-Led Networks. And on today's episode, I'm not working alone. I'm working with two lovely ladies who will get a chance to introduce themselves. And with that said, my name is Faith Thipe, and I'm the United Movement Programme Officer. We do know that youth-led networks are driving some of the most important work or change on HIV, sexual, reproductive, and health and rights and social justice across East and Southern Africa region, or just across the globe. Yet many of these youth-led networks continue to grapple with the limited funding, technical support, and institutional capacity, which makes it difficult to sustain and scale their impact. And from our point of view as United Movement, we believe that investing in these networks isn't just about strengthening organizations. It's about strengthening the entire youth-led response across the region and across the globe when it comes to HIV and SRHR issues. The vision behind SYNC initiative, which is an acronym for Strengthening Youth-Led Networks Capacities, developed through United Movement and delivered in partnership with Y+ Global, AFRIAN, UNICEF, UNFPA, and UNAIDS, funded by Together for SRHR. It's for SYNC to provide tailored capacity assessments, mentorship, training, peer learning, and access to seed funding for youth-led organizations, which then equips the networks with the skills, resources, and support they need to thrive. Over the time, SYNC has helped networks build stronger, more resilient systems that can drive lasting progress on HIV, sexual reproductive health and rights, and broader development priorities across East and Southern Africa region through their networks. And we've seen some going on to apply for funding at a larger scale and actually getting that funding. And at this juncture, I'd love to give it over to the two pretty ladies to introduce themselves. Over to you, my ladies.
Hi everyone. My name is Jerop Limo. I am the Executive Director of Ambassador for Youth and Adolescent Reproductive Health Program, a youth-led organization and youth-focused organization working in Kenya.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Atieno Onyango. I am the founder and coordinator of the Africa Young Sex Workers Alliance, a Pan-African network for and by young sex workers between the ages of 18 to 32 years.
Lovely. It's great to have you over here. And it's quite an interesting dynamic because you are two generations of the SYNC initiative. We have AYARHEP being the outgoing cohort that we started with last year, and we have YoSWA joining the new cohort that we are supporting this year. And just as a question to you, Jerop, before engaging with the SYNC initiative, what was the biggest challenge your network faced when it came to running your back office operations, like governance or financial systems, or just in general institutional structures?
One of the biggest challenge for us as an organization was the fact that our policies were not up to date. They were there, but they were not meeting the standard of what a donor would want, the vision we have for the organization for it to grow. And so we would find ourselves in situations where we want to be able to negotiate for better money, we want to be able to apply for bigger grants, but we do not have everything that is required to be able to really compete with big organizations who have all their systems in place and have all these policies in place. So I would definitely highlight that. But also skills-wise, because one of the things we did under SYNC was, training. We did more resource mobilization trainings, and there are things we didn't know that we actually learned throughout the process. So kind of gave us a boost in terms of how do you apply for a grant, and the confidence of knowing we have what it takes to apply for bigger grants.
Great. I hear you that the SYNC initiative gave you the confidence. As a follow-up question, what did the capacity roadmap co-creation process reveal to you that you hadn't fully considered before you engaged in this initiative?
First of all, I talk about one. The SRHR policy is one of those documents that we thought, okay, we have a policy, but it wasn't comprehensive. It wasn't highlighting many key aspects. It wasn't really keen on thinking about support, access to justice and aspects like those. And even though you are an organization and you assume that these things could never happen to you, it's important to have these structures in place in case. It's more of like a risk mitigation, and sometimes we don't think that risk could happen in our institution. The other thing is that we had not thought about what it takes to be able to fully be a youth-led organization that is competing for grants with well-established organizations. We call them the big organizations. Here you are, a young person, you don't have that big budget that big donor wants, and we had not really fully considered what that looks like, but also the vision that we have for organization. We don't just want to remain a small organization. We want to be a big organization. We want to grow, and we equally want to be considered as a youth-led organization that has the systems and the capacity and the staffing to be able to manage, implement, and also serve our communities better. So for me, I'd say we had not really understood what it means to be a well-established organization with everything in place.
Wow, that's quite very interesting. And I think it also just takes us back to the words that we always get to hear thrown around loosely, that young people are not ready to lead, young people can't be trusted with leadership, because we also don't take time to invest in the structures that then strengthen their leadership. And over to you, Liz, as the new cohort of the SYNC initiative. As you begin your journey with the SYNC initiative, what are the primary pain points or institutional gaps that you are most eager to address, and why are they critical to your network's mission right now?
Well, I think for me, for our organization right now, the most critical gaps that we wanted to address, especially under the SYNC initiative support, when we came in, we did not understand much about how do we improve visibility of our organization. And I think most of the time we do the work, yes, but again, especially as a sex workers-led organization, there's always that pressure of like, what are you doing? We need to see your work. So we don't want to do the work for the pressure of wanting to be seen, but we also want to do the work and be able to be recognized as young people, young sex workers who are actually experts in the work that we do. So SYNC initiative, the challenge that we want to address with it is just like, how do we strengthen YoSWA's visibility on social media platforms? And if I can share that, it was actually after this capacity strengthening support that we were able to even get support to develop a website that really speaks to the needs of sex workers, a website that is strongly bringing out our vision, our mission, and our goals as an institution. So it has really been supportive in terms of capacity strengthening us, and also equipping us with knowledge, skills, and support to ensure that the work that we are doing is not just staying within our organization, but it is work that can be seen and be understood, and also work that is able to attract partners who are for the support of young sex workers. Because most of the times also when you do your work, you post it online, it attracts all type of support, all types of engagement. But what we really want and what we are really looking for is for partners who are gonna come in and actually support the vision of YoSWA, not just come and impose their vision. Because again, as young sex workers led organization. So many people are going to come and offer support, but are we also able to recognize that these people are offering support that is in alignment with our vision, or they are offering support because they are seeing that young sex workers is a niche and they also have their different agendas that they want to push within the sex workers movement. So I think those are some of the challenges that we want to address and under this support. Our visibility online, make it stronger, but also make it attract the type of support that we want as YoSWA, and not support that other people want to impose on us.
Absolutely. You've said quite a mouthful, and one that stood out for me is the ability to ensure that you don't get consumed in other people's visions, but you stick to your own truth as a youth-led network and drive the mission that the purpose of establishing this particular network was for at the very beginning. As we move on to the next question, which will probably be the second last, there is a lot of focus on program activities in terms of funding, but you rarely get support in terms of your institutional and governance structures, strengthening or just establishment. Why is it actually important for donors to finance this particular kind of initiatives where the focus is mainly on the core funding of the organization that targets the organizational structures, the institutional structures, the governance structures, and the leadership structure of the youth-led network? To both of you.
So I think one of the saddest thing about having a youth-led organization is that people think you have energy to do free work every damn time. So someone wants you to do 80% of the work and then they are paying you 20%. And it's always been, you have to like prove or negotiate. And even when you negotiate, they're like, no, this is the only amount we are willing to give you. And even as an organization, we've had instances where someone wants to give us a grant with zero admin, zero salary, you do the work. And you're like, how do you expect us to work? We are human beings, we have to eat, we have to pay bills and things like that. So one of the most important things that we have learned under the SYNC initiative is that we also have to start saying no if things and if grants and funders are not prioritizing the well-being of the people who are supposed to do the work. Is to also talk about, we need money to maintain these systems. We need money to be able to write a strategic plan. And I remember even having conversations with someone and saying, we don't have a strategic plan, we want to work on one. And they're like, yes, you should work on one, that's one of your gaps. And I'm like, it's not gonna cost 0 shillings. But if you just tell me and you say you need to, you're not really helping me. You're giving me technical support in one way or the other, but for me to actualize your advice or your recommendation, then I need the money. So I think one of the most important thing is that the SYNC initiative did not just give us technical support, it also gave us the money, it gave us the people, it gave us the consultant. And that is what building systems for youth-led organization is and should be: holistic support. Everything is required. Co-funding, again, another challenge. We often don't receive core grants or enough even money to be able to scale up the work that we do. And I like what Liz said. We find ourselves minimizing ourselves, involving ourselves in helping other people achieve their mission and visions because we need the money, we need the grants. And now we're about to start functioning the other way around. We need to achieve our mission. If our mission aligns, then there needs to be a shift of, we might not be able to help you, but maybe you can work with this organization because they are working around what you want. And also just allowing ourselves to not minimize ourselves anymore. We are not just a youth-led organization, we are a youth-led organization. We have the systems, the documents, and we deserve to be able to access the grants, small, big, medium, long-term, short-term, all of it.
Absolutely. And to you, Liz,
Yes, I think for me, I'll just be brief because Jerop has said pretty much what I wanted to say. But I just wanted to give an example for this one time that I was in a meeting with like different organizations, and some organizations were like private sectors. And when we spoke about money and the type of funding that they are getting and the type of work that they do, like you realize that a programs person in a private sector is being paid like 3 times the amount, of even 4 or 5 times the amount that a programs person in a youth-led organization is getting. And so where is the problem? And for us, it's just the realization that funders do not want to support the people who are doing the work, but they want to support the programs. I like to say that these programs won't do themselves or won't be done by, the indicators that you've set. Those ones are not going to deliver or do the programs. It needs people. And if people are not funded, if there's no enough support to ensure that we support our people, the people that we work with, then this work is not going to be done. So like, I feel like it's just more or less like I'll call it a misconception that funders and other big organizations do not want to recognize the expertise that sits with young people, because we are experts too in our own issues. And the same way you're going to support an organization that is bigger, support even organizations that are led by young people. We are just young people-led organizations. It doesn't minimize us. We are still organizations that do the same work. Then give us the same type of support that you accord other organizations that are led by seasoned, I don't want to call them old, they're going to catch feelings, but by seasoned leaders. Give us the same support, because we are doing the same work. We're actually doing more, because we see that young people actually, inside any country, the biggest percentage of the population in different countries is young people. So this means the workload is bigger for us. So fund us and support us, and just like radically believe in the leadership of young people and move the money to organizations that are led by young people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Liz. And that is quite a lot. And I want to say I actually agree with your sentiments. But in the interest of time, if you could whisper one piece of advice to another youth-led network who feels stuck in survival mode, what would you tell them about the power of investing in their own institutional strength?
Well, briefly, I will say believe in yourself. We really don't have to wait on other people to come and approve the work that you do. So long as you're a young person, you've seen a gap, you've gotten into that space, believe in yourself. Walk into rooms. If they don't offer you a chair to sit on, bring your own seat.
Yes. Great. And to you, Jerop?
The organization you're building or the institution you're building will get there someday. It's not gonna happen overnight, I promise. It's not gonna happen over an year. It's gonna take time. And at the beginning, it's always tough. No salaries, no income. It's actually taking more out from you than it's giving you. And that's part of building something that is meant to withstand some of the biggest challenges of the response. So keep at it. Do things ethically. I can't emphasize more on that. Please, let's learn from organizations that have been there, the mistakes they made, and let's make sure that we build an organization and an institution that does the work, but also allows you to grow as an individual and thrive.
Wow, thank you so much. And we hope to see where your journey goes after this support. As we come to the conclusion of our podcast session, to the funders, you've heard from them. They say fund youth-led networks the same way you fund big organizations.
Yes.
And to youth-led networks, believe on yourself and start the process. You'll get there one day. Don't wish to have an overnight success. It takes time and you'll get there. And from me and my lovely 2 panelists, adios.